To achieve a neat and professional connection with the concentric neutral and service entrance, also known as SE cable, followed this process. The key is to prepare the neutral, which also serves as the ground wire, by tinning it. Then, carefully wrap the hot wire around this prepared neutral. Firstly, slide back the insulation on the service entrance cable. Ensure you expose a sufficient length of the concentric neutral or ground wire. The amount of exposed wire depends on the size of the cable and the enclosure in which the connection is being made. Generally, aim for several inches of exposed wire to provide ample space for working and creating a secure connection. Secondly, thoroughly tin the exposed ground wire. Tinning involves applying a thin coat of solder to the wire. This serves several purposes. It prevents the individual strands of the concentric neutral from fraying, which helps maintain the structural integrity of the connection. It also provides a corrosion-resistant layer, which is particularly important in environments where moisture or other corrosive elements may be present. Perhaps most importantly, it enhances the electrical conductivity of the connection and creates a more reliable and low-resistance path for ground fault currents. Use a soldering iron and appropriate solder for electrical work. Heat the wire and apply solder until the strands are uniformly coated and bonded together. Allow the tinned wire to cool before proceeding to the next step. Thirdly, carefully twist the hot wire around the tinned ground wire. This step requires precision to ensure the connection is both electrically sound and visually appealing. Start by positioning the hot wire alongside the tinned ground wire. Begin wrapping the hot wire tightly and evenly around the tinned ground wire. Maintain consistent tension as you wrap to avoid gaps or loose sections. The goal is to create a coil of the hot wire that is snug against the tinned ground wire. Ensure the wrapping extends along the entire length of the tin section. Avoid overlapping or crisscrossing the hot wire, as this can create a messy appearance and potentially compromise the electrical connection. The completed wrap should form a neat and uniform spiral around the tinned ground wire. This technique provides a secure mechanical connection and a reliable electrical pathway. By tinning the neutral or ground wire, you create a solid base for wrapping the hot wire. The tinning process prevents fraying, reduces corrosion, and improves conductivity. When you wrap the hot wire around the tin neutral, you create a secure and neat connection. This method ensures the electrical connection is sound and that the installation looks professional. Always prioritize safety and adhere to all applicable electrical codes and regulations. Before working on any electrical equipment, energize the circuit at the main breaker or disconnect switch. Verify the circuit is energized using a reliable voltage tester. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, including safety glasses and insulated gloves. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, consult a qualified electrician. In electrical work, neatness and professionalism are not merely cosmetic concerns. A well-executed connection indicates attention to detail, which can reflect the quality of the overall electrical installation. Neat connections are easier to inspect and maintain, and they are less likely to develop problems over time. The suggested method provides a secure electrical connection that is also visually appealing. This approach minimizes the bulkiness of the connection, making it easier to fit within electrical boxes and panels. A tidy installation also conveys competence and reinforces confidence in the quality of the work. Remember that electrical codes and regulations vary by location. Always consult the most recent edition of the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and any applicable local codes to ensure compliance. The NEC provides detailed requirements for grounding, bonding, and wiring methods. Following these guidelines is essential for safety and code compliance. Consider additional tips for neat service entrance cable installations. When routing the service entrance cable, plan the cable path carefully to minimize bends and avoid sharp turns. Use appropriate cable clamps and supports to secure the cable along its run. This will help prevent strain on the connections and maintain a neat appearance. When terminating the service entrance cable at the meter socket or service panel, leave sufficient wire length for making connections, but avoid excessive slack. Excess wire can create clutter and make it difficult to close the enclosure. Neatly arrange the wires within the enclosure and secure them with cable ties or other appropriate fasteners. Clearly label all circuits and connections to facilitate future maintenance and troubleshooting. Finally, double-check all connections to ensure they are tight and secure. Use a torque screwdriver to tighten screws and terminals to the manufacturer's specified torque values. This will help prevent loose connections, which can cause overheating and other problems. Maintaining a professional appearance in electrical work is not just about aesthetics, it's about safety, reliability, and quality. By following these tips and techniques, you can create neat and professional service entrance cable connections that will provide years of trouble-free service. Moreover, remember that safety is the paramount concern when working with electricity. Always de-energize circuits before working on them and use appropriate personal protective equipment. If you are unsure about any aspect of the work, consult a qualified electrician. A well-executed electrical installation reflects not only competence but also a commitment to safety and quality. By adhering to best practices and taking the time to do the job right, you can ensure a safe and reliable electrical system. Electrical work is a critical aspect of building construction and maintenance. Proper installation and maintenance of electrical systems are essential for the safety and functionality of buildings. Always stay informed about the latest codes, regulations, and best practices. Continuous learning and professional development are vital for staying up to date in the ever-evolving field of electrical work. By following these principles, you can excel in your electrical career and contribute to the safety and well-being of the community. Remember to consult the relevant sections of the National Electrical Code, such as Article 230 for service entrances and Article 250 for grounding and bonding requirements. These sections provide detailed information on the proper installation and connection of service entrance cables. It's also a good idea to consult with experienced electricians and attend training courses to enhance your knowledge and skills. A good understanding of electrical theory and practical techniques is essential for performing electrical work safely and effectively. The method described earlier, tinning the neutral/ground wire and wrapping the hot wire around it, is just one of many techniques used in electrical work. There may be other methods that are equally effective or more suitable for specific applications. The key is to understand the principles behind each technique and choose the method that best meets the requirements of the situation. The important thing is to ensure that the connection is electrically sound, mechanically secure, and code compliant. A well-executed electrical connection is a testament to the electrician's skill and professionalism. It's a reflection of their commitment to safety, quality, and customer satisfaction. Strive for excellence in every aspect of your electrical work, and always prioritize safety above all else. When working with service entrance cables, pay close attention to the ampacity of the conductors and the rating of the overcurrent protection devices. The ampacity of the conductors must be sufficient to carry the load served by the circuit, and the overcurrent protection devices must be sized to protect the conductors from overloads and short circuits. Consult the National Electrical Code Table 310.15b16 to determine the ampacity of conductors based on their size and insulation type. Ensure that the overcurrent protection devices are properly labeled and readily accessible. Proper coordination of overcurrent protection devices is essential for preventing nuisance tripping and ensuring selective coordination. In a selectively coordinated system, only the overcurrent protection device closest to the fault will trip, leaving the rest of the system operational. This minimizes downtime and improves the reliability of the electrical system. Also, consider the environmental conditions in which the service entrance cable will be installed. If the cable will be exposed to moisture, chemicals, or other corrosive elements, choose a cable with appropriate insulation and jacketing materials. Protect the cable from physical damage by routing it through conduit or other protective enclosures. Regularly inspect the service entrance cable and connections for signs of damage or deterioration. Replace any damaged or worn components promptly to prevent potential hazards. Perform routine maintenance on the electrical system to ensure its continued reliability and safety. Keep the service panel clean and free of debris. Test the operation of ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, and arc fault circuit interrupters, RFCIs, regularly to ensure they are functioning properly. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that the service entrance cable and electrical system are properly installed, maintained, and operated. This will help protect people and property from electrical hazards and provide a safe and reliable electrical supply. Electricity is a powerful and essential force in modern society, but it can also be dangerous if not handled properly. Always approach electrical work with caution and respect. Follow the rules, use common sense, and prioritize safety above all else. With proper knowledge, skills, and precautions, you can safely and effectively work with electricity and contribute to the well-being of the community. The National Electrical Code is a comprehensive set of standards and guidelines for electrical installations. It is updated every 3 years to reflect the latest advancements in technology and best practices. Stay up to date with the latest edition of the NEC and any applicable local codes to ensure compliance. The NEC covers a wide range of topics, including wiring methods, grounding and bonding, overcurrent protection, and equipment installation. It provides detailed requirements for electrical systems in residential, commercial, and industrial buildings. Familiarize yourself with the relevant sections of the NEC and follow the guidelines carefully. The NEC is not a substitute for sound engineering judgment, but it provides a solid foundation for safe and reliable electrical installations. In addition to the NEC, there are other industry standards and guidelines that may be relevant to your work. Consult these resources to supplement your knowledge and ensure that you are following best practices. There are also many training courses and certification programs available for electricians. These programs can help you enhance your skills and knowledge and demonstrate your competence to employers and clients. Investing in your professional development is a wise decision that can pay dividends throughout your career. Electrical work is a challenging and rewarding profession. It requires a combination of technical knowledge, practical skills, and a commitment to safety. By pursuing continuous learning, staying up to date with the latest codes and standards, and adhering to best practices, you can excel in your electrical career and make a valuable contribution to society. A concentric neutral cable is a specific type of cable construction commonly used for service entrance conductors. It consists of a central insulated conductor surrounded by a layer of bare or tinned copper wires that serve as the neutral conductor. This construction provides a low impedance path for ground fault currents, which is essential for safety. The concentric neutral cable is typically used in applications where a separate grounding electrode conductor is not required, such as in some residential services. However, it is important to verify the local codes and regulations to determine the specific requirements for grounding and bonding. In some cases, a supplemental grounding electrode conductor may be required, even when using a concentric neutral cable. The concentric neutral cable must be properly terminated to ensure a secure and reliable connection. Use appropriate connectors and terminals that are specifically designed for use with concentric neutral cables. Follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully when terminating the cable. Ensure that the concentric neutral wires are evenly distributed around the termination point and securely fastened. Avoid over-tightening the connectors, as this can damage the cable and compromise the connection. Regularly inspect the terminations for signs of corrosion or damage. Replace any damaged or corroded components promptly. Proper termination of the concentric neutral cable is essential for maintaining the integrity of the grounding system and ensuring the safety of the electrical installation. The practice of tinning the concentric neutral wires before making connections is a common and recommended technique. Tinning helps to prevent corrosion, improve conductivity, and provide a more secure and reliable connection. Use the soldering iron and appropriate solder for electrical work. Heat the wires and apply solder until they are uniformly coated and bonded together. Avoid using excessive solder, as this can create a bulky and unsightly connection. Allow the tinned wires to cool before making the final connection. The tinned wires will be easier to work with and will provide a more durable and corrosion-resistant connection. The concentric neutral cable is an important component of the electrical system. Proper installation and maintenance of the concentric neutral cable are essential for safety and reliability. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that the concentric neutral cable is properly installed and functioning as intended. This will help protect people and property from electrical hazards and provide a safe and reliable electrical supply. Always remember that electrical work can be dangerous if not performed properly. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, consult a qualified electrician. A licensed and experienced electrician has the knowledge, skills, and equipment to perform electrical work safely and effectively. Hiring a qualified electrician is an investment in your safety and the value of your property. Don't take risks with electricity. Leave the work to the professionals.